Okay, one last mention here is that the Lord is just reminding me of the testing of our faith works patience. That's coming from the King James version because that's mostly what I have like memorized. um, don't ask, 7 years. It's, yeah. But I do love the NIV version. I have it here. It says, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. And the next verse, verse 4, says, let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. And I think the goal of God's heart in testing us is to produce this place where we don't lack. But you're like, wait a minute. If I'm in a trial, if I'm in a test, I feel like I have lack. And God's like, but the truth is, there is no lack in him. So the perspective shift is that his presence is enough. Jesus is enough. His love for you is enough. His grace for you is sufficient for your life. That whatever you're going through, no matter how hard the trial, Jesus is still enough. And I want to get to that place of not lacking anything. And I understand that his goal for my life is for me to find that level of contentment in him. Am I there yet? No, not at all. There's still some promises I'm waiting on that are like hard, but I understand this concept that he wants the roots of my faith in him to go so deep that through any trial, tribulation that I go through, that I will never be moved and not lack anything in the middle of a trial. Now, I will say that evil, where you've got persecution or where you've got just hatred, human trafficking, child abuse. The Bible addresses that. And it's like, hey, if you offend one of these little ones, it's better for you to have a noose tied around your neck with this big old millstone. It's a huge stone and thrown into the middle of a sea. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about trials that come from the Lord that produce something in us, that should produce something in us, that should produce patience, this perseverance, this not lacking anything. And so I just want to encourage you today that if you're in a hard space with the Lord and you're like, when, God? Like, why or why, God? Look at the abundance and the richness and the beauty and the grace that God has for you found in him. His presence is enough. He is enough for you. And he loves you. He loves you so much that he's like, hey, look, I don't want you to find your contentment and your joy and your fulfillment in all of these other things or these areas. God's like, find it in me. Find it in my presence. God's like, here, I'm freely giving to you. God's like, here's my heart. I'm giving you everything. He's choosing you. He's choosing to pick you, to call you, to choose you out so that you might know him in the abundance of his presence. Choose him today and come out of that lack mentality into the abundance of him. Bless you. Love you. Bye.